this presentation, we're going to be discussing the prototype and user testing portion of our project, Simple Learning. First, we're going to talk about the project team and summary. The project team consists of me, Natalia, as the project manager. Throughout the project, I collected all the information the other members provided and composed it into PowerPoint, as well as giving the voiceover and script. I also kept everyone accountable with deadlines and progress. Alyssa was the team's UI designer. She created the app design and all of its pages, including the icons and menus. Emily was in charge of making the logo, as well as the name for our project, and applying the concept to the app. Alfredo was the research lead. He performed interviews with a multitude of users in order to gather information so our app could be as intuitive and helpful as possible. And lastly, David was also a UI designer. He created the prototype of our app. By following the necessary insights, he applied these ideas in order for it to be incredibly functional and understandable. In the first group project, we set out to analyze the market we planned on joining, that being the e-learning market. We understood that it was projected to grow from 314.03 billion in 2024 to $354.71 billion in 2025, therefore proving to be highly profitable. In addition, when researching our competitors, we gathered that we wanted our projects to have mobile accessibility and a clean and intuitive dashboard similar to Canvas, the students' analytics displaying on the dashboard like Blackboard does, as well as collaborative tools and integrated plugins for functionality which Moodle incorporates. Overall, we aimed to create an e-learning platform that was more flexible and included immersive technology. The opportunity to innovate by addressing specific pain points students face and navigating these systems was presented, which we explored in the second group project. In group project 2, we gathered from user research that people mainly struggled with how long something took to load on an LMS app, as well as when clicking on a notification, it would not take a user to the information presented. Likewise, they experienced difficulty in navigation due to information layout. Additionally, users preferred not to turn in their work through an LMS app as they fit it unreliable, but rather only used it to see information for quizzes and assignments. This being said, we sought out to help many of these specific issues to allow people to use our LMS app much more frequently. First, we wanted to instantly sync messages so there would no longer be missing inbox notifications. Then we also thought of simplifying navigation by clearly labeling menus for assignments, inbox, and grades. Multi-tab functionality was also important for students to seek to turn in their work through the app by allowing to view assignments and its rubric, in addition to faster loading times, of course. Moving on to the interactive prototype section, where I'll show how to navigate our app and how I apply these ideas. The name of our app is Curso. This is the page that comes up. It then transitions to this page where you can sign in with your Face ID by finding your school or through a QR code. By clicking Find My School, it takes you to this page where you can see your previously viewed or selected schools, as well as search for new ones. By clicking on that, it brings you to this page where you can see your in-progress courses as well as your past ones, which was something that a lot of people felt the need to include. Here at the bottom, the option to see the calendar, to-do list, notifications, and inbox. Notifications actually has a little dot next to it to indicate that something unopened is there, as well as having the little bell at the top so that person has easy access no matter where they are on the page. The bottom menu here is there for all pages, so the person always has access to that. By clicking on the menu button here at the top, actually slides open this little side menu where you can see everything that's included at the bottom here, as well as a way to sign out and to the settings where you can change your displayed name, your email, password, as well as customize the app interface. A lot of people found that that was a really interesting thing that our app included, which actually brought a lot more people to be interested in an app compared to other LMS apps, such as by changing the colors or the pictures for the courses. The back button here brings you back to the dashboard where you can then select a course. By selecting a course, it brings you to its homepage, where by clicking home actually brings up everything that the course offers. By clicking on assignments, it brings you to this assignment page where you can see your current upcoming assignments as well as your past assignments, where a lot of people said that they wanted to see their past assignments, their past grades. By clicking upcoming assignments, it actually brings up a few of the things you have to do, and by clicking on that assignment, it brings up the assignment page. As you can see, there's more than one submit button because a lot of people once again expressed that a reason for why they didn't submit through their phones was because because they didn't feel that that app was reliable or that it would actually turn in their assignment, or they also couldn't find the assignment button. When an assignment is really long, it's difficult to scroll all the way down to have to find that submit button. Here, it's in 2 places, so the person always has access to it. It's also very quick to just click here. As you can see, we have the option for a text entry, a file upload, which is important depending on the assignment. We also have the option to see the rubric. A lot of people said that they wouldn't submit on their phones because they didn't know exactly what the assignment required. Here you have a breakdown of every single point that can be earned on the assignment, as well as an explanation. Once again, an option to submit the assignment through the actual rubric page. By going back, it takes you to the assignments page, and once again back to the course page. Here you have the option to click on discussions, which you can do here as well. And once you go back here, you can actually click anywhere and it takes you back to your dashboard. Here you can click on the little bottom, click on calendar, brings up the assignments you have due. You can actually select the course specifically to see which assignments you have due for that specific course, but it's also modified by color here so there's no confusion. But when we were testing this out, they expressed how they were confused about whether someone was a quiz, a discussion, or an assignment, or for which course it was for. And here it tells you exactly what it is, especially through color coding. Then you can click on to do, which shows you what you've done and what still has to be done, as well as once again exactly what it is, color coded as well by course. And you can actually filter it, which was something that people brought up that was an issue with our app, and we decided to change that. We can filter all of them together or separately, as well as by course and due date. Then if you go to the notifications page, you have the announcement that someone emailed you, if a professor posted a new assignment, if something was graded. Everything that you need to know that's going on would be on this page, and you can also simply by clicking on it, it actually brings up a preview of what it says. People had an issue before because there was no previews of what actually was being said. They wanted to have a quick look before actually clicking on the page, and so we delivered that here. By clicking see less, brings that up. Now you have your inbox where you can actually communicate very quickly, similar to using direct message on a social media app. You can actually do this through your own LMS app, whether that be to a student or a professor. Finally, the user testing section, where I'll discuss each of the 4 users we interviewed and their insights and how we apply this to our prototype. The first user is Andre Fortuna. He's a junior in aerospace engineer and exchange student from Spain. He's quite tech savvy but not familiar with the LMS apps in the US. He mainly is focused on efficiency and clarity when it comes to dealing with this issue. He was tasked with checking for new messages, looking at an assignment and its rubric, submitting it, and checking his grade. He said he enjoyed the flow of the app, such as the grades page, but didn't quite understand the red dot above the bell icon. We also gathered that it would be helpful to have more explanations in the rubric page to clarify any questions, as well as having some sort of notification to show unread messages. User 2 was Tristan Swain. They're a political science freshman from Orlando. They are not all tech-oriented and thus are more inclined for ease when in use, as well as in communication features. They were assigned to check their inbox, go to assignment 2 to see its instructions, and try to submit and look at their past grades. User 2 expressed that he was unaware what the points meant in the rubric, as there were no explanations to it. Therefore, we decided to add a drop-down menu to show what each point regarding the grade meant. He understood the inbox layout but was confused when he clicked a message and it took him to a new screen without context. By what he said, we also think that each page should have a title so we're certain of what we're on, as well as always having a back button accessible to go back to the previous page. The third user was Orel Pariente. They're a senior in technology and business, highly tech oriented, and desires a fast navigation as well as customizable setting. They were asked with going to their to-do list items, checking their most recent messages and announcements, as well as their assignments and submissions. They informed us that they liked the login, especially the Face ID option, but would like that when they tap a notification bar, there would be a preview, but instead it opens the inbox only. In addition, we gathered that a filter for assignments is necessary, such as by due date, in addition to somewhere to view previous assignment submissions. Lastly, the 4th user was Ana Cuya. She is a pre-pharmacy major from Spain who is moderately tech savvy and uses her LMS app mainly for deadlines. She was tasked with looking at her calendar for deadlines, reading an announcement, and trying to find where to submit a quiz and turn on notifications. She expressed how she couldn't see all the tasks clearly due to it only being available in a monthly view. We also concluded that a settings panel was necessary in a more clear manner, in addition to icons to express whether something is a quiz or an assignment, and more accessibility to announcements rather than having emails and other notifications together. In conclusion, we think that having previews for assignments and announcements by our drop-down menu, adding explanations or headers for clarity, color coding between quizzes and assignments, as well as changing the app for viewer tabs for common actions is necessary and what we would apply to a project. A huge thank you from Group 6.